So let's talk about the healer strike in Final Fantasy XIV. It's dumb. Absolutely dumb. So, TLDR, back on Monday, June 17th, in the year of our Lord 2024, both PC Gamer and Kotaku decided to publish articles stating that Final Fantasy XIV's healers have had enough and are going on strike after streamer tears through Dawntrail's first dungeon preview without needing them at all, along with frustrated Final Fantasy XIV healers are planning to strike when Dawntrail debuts. Why? Because of one simple video by Xenosis. In the video, what we'll end up seeing is Xenosis, along with Arceus, Whoops, and Lamatod, all gearing up to go into the first dungeon in Dawntrail. Even in screenshots provided, you can definitely see that things are subject to change prior to the game's launch. And this was one of the first builds that they implemented in the media tour of all things. And people are getting thrown through the loop and getting mad because it makes it seem as though healers are now obsolete. But that's really far from the case. The main gripe comes from the party composition that they had of a warrior, dragoon, ninja, and a red mage. Anybody that's played Final Fantasy XIV and have healed any of those jobs know that the best friend for most healers is a warrior. Why? Because then you can focus more on keeping your DPS alive. The red mage is nice for the off heals and reses, and then you just have the extra DPS between the dragoon and the ninja, who have their own little abilities that kind of help them in mitigating their own damage taken. But you still gotta heal them. So even in the video, they die, not wipe, but die a couple times by either greeting or just getting hit by something because it's a new dungeon. For anybody that remembers even the last two expansions, like for just Power of Zot, and then also, let's not forget level 71 Holminster's Switch back in Shadowbringers, how much of a pain it is for baby healers and even tanks to survive those first wall-to-wall pulls. For anybody that doesn't know what a wall-to-wall pull, what are you doing? Why are you here? But anyways, what a wall-to-wall pull is when the tank goes from one end of the room to the other end of the room to grab all the mobs, and then proceed to AoE all of them down with DPS and healer abilities. During either of those dungeons, if you're not geared from the previous expansion's top gear, for that matter, you're gonna fucking suffer. If you say, oh, that's not true, it's not true. Kinda is. Really is. Because when you think about it, you're trying to level a healer. That is the last dungeon that you even want to tread into. Either one of those to go through. And if your tank doesn't know how to mitigate whatsoever, you're gonna die repeatedly. I wish I was kidding, but the amount of times we had a wipe on just a few packs when I was trying to level starting out was ridiculous. This isn't to scare a lot of the newbie healers that are coming in from going through Endwalker, going into Dawntrail. It's just how the game is. Now, I can understand where some healers are coming through in the strike, in the details that they go over in terms of our DPS rotations. I get it. It's boring. It is. You only get about maybe 3 to 4 abilities, maybe 5, to go ahead and help you with your DPSing in the groups. It sucks. It does. But you're not the main focus here. Your main focus is to heal and supplement some damage, which even doesn't become that big of a deal, at least until you get to maybe extremes. Maybe you feel ballsy and want to go into savages. Or, you really want to push the limit? Ultimates, T, top, so on. But God forbid, Please remember, if you are a healer, have your fucking limit break on your goddamn bar. But moreover, in the video, one thing I noticed right off the bat, they geared them at level 100 with your basically relic gear you get right at the end. So probably 99, 100, just like they did in Endwalker and Shadowbringers. With that gear, while you get synced down in the dungeon, you still get some of the stat benefits. And not to mention, subject to change. Everything that they put in those media tours and previews are always subject to change. So for anybody that's out there that has been going on, oh my god, they're neutering healers again. We're not going to be valued. They're just going to laugh in our faces. Honestly, we kind of already are. We really are. Because that's all you're going to whine about. So just make sure, if you're going in those dungeons and you get your shit wrecked, healers adjust. And you know, just for context, for anyone saying, well, you probably never healed anyways, aside from just wanting to level. Wrong. Prior to Final Fantasy XIV, I did raiding and healing in World of Warcraft. You want to talk about bar bloat, spell bloat, and all of your other abilities on top of healing that you would get, that you were expected to use throughout the entire instances just to get through. What we have in 14, we do have some ability bloat, but not nearly as bad. You don't want that. On top of that, for, I guess, if I need a flex type of rating I did do, was extremes. And then finally dipped my toes into savages in 14. Where I met really fucking amazing people. However, ended up running into shitty tanks and a shitty co-healer who ended up rage quitting anyways. That all being said, it's not as serious as you think. It's going to be fine. Painful, but fine. There's no reason for any of this. You're just making a bigger deal than it really is. And you have more people that are pointing and laughing at this point than really giving any thought or taking you seriously on. So if you don't want to heal, that's fine. Pick a different job. Or if you want to feel more value at one point, just do it. Choice is yours. No one's forcing you to stay in this position. And if you're just not happy with the game, unsub. That's all it takes. Take your money away. Get through the weird payment system they decided to implement this expansion and move on to another bigger horizon for you. But either way, I'm going to enjoy Dawntrail with all the shenanigans and all the stuff I'm going to do. So I will definitely see y'all there, either on Twitch or wherever. Maybe even on TikTok, who knows. But until next time, bye-bye.